Welcome into the bunker of General Gridiron, Field Marshal of football forecasting. We're about to map out the way this college football weekend is gonna go. Will your favorite team be marching to victory? Or will the enemy be taking your battle flag? Yes, the leaves are starting to fall, cotton's ready for picking, and the action on the battlefields of pigskin glory are really starting to heat up in this fourth weekend of gridiron greatness. So grab your helmet and man those battle stations. We're ready for another round of General Gridiron's football foretelling. Oklahoma State at Texas. The Pokes ride into Austin with a 4-game win streak in this series. That's got to be hard to swallow, Bevo fans. Sure, UT has endured rather hard times for most of the last decade, but geesh, this is Okie Light we're talking about, not that other Sooner school based out of Norman. The Mullet Man has Chuba Hubbard grinding away in the backfield. Last week at Tulsa, the second-year Canuck amassed a career-high 256 yards rushing and 3 TDs. Now that's what I'm talking about. This DKR Donnybrook will be a dang good one. And when the day ends, the herdsman will lasso the Longhorn cattle one more time. The Generals victor, Oklahoma State. LSU at Vanderbilt. Purple and gold windsuits meet rhinestones. And a rare visit to West End, Coach O's number 4 powerhouse already has a big road win to their credit. Now, Vanderbilt Stadium ain't exactly the 40 acres, so there'll be a little adjustment needed for old number 9 behind center. The Doors are rather happy the Crazy Cajun and his traveling troupe are Nashville bound. VU has been on the short end of games against tough teams thus far, and the weirdness of playing at the Commodores Junior High Stadium has caused headaches in the past, i.e. Auburn 2012. Derek Mason's bunch will put up a fight, but Mike the Tiger will be cutting a new hit in Music City. The Generals victor, LSU. Tennessee at Florida. Oh, remember the days when this game was the biggest game in the SEC in the month of September? Well, thanks to UT's rocky ride off a Smoky Mountain cliff these last few years, this contest is kind of bland next. After claiming the title of top branch in the University of Tennessee system after dispatching UT Chattanooga, UT Knoxville now sails south to the swamp to keep the win streak a-going. The Gainesville Reptilians jump into this one with Felipe Franks sidelined for the remainder of 2019. There might be a few growing pains as the contest progresses, but the old orange and blue will certainly crush the big orange. The Generals victor, Florida. Michigan at Wisconsin. Jimmy Harbaugh's Weasels are sitting at number 11 in the latest AP poll. Somehow, the Mays Michiganders have escaped Army's cavalcade and MTSU's valiant effort. After taking last Saturday off, UM is ready to enter Big Ten play and show off Shea Patterson's arm and legs. Paul Christ's variety of Wisconsin Weasels have finished their preseason slate of contests versus South Florida and Central Michigan. And the combined point total for those two games, Badgers 110 and the two other guys a combined 0. The General can't guarantee another shutout this Saturday, but he can guarantee another Bucky butt whooping. The Generals victor on Wisconsin. Auburn at Texas A&M. Jimbo Fisher's towel-waving Farmers have seen the ups and downs of college football in only 3 games. Sure, they lost at top-ranked Clemson, but looked mighty spiffy destroying in-state inferiors Texas State and Lamar. With the East Alabamians soaring into Aggieland, we'll know a lot more about both A&M and Auburn when the final whistle blows. AU and Bo Nix already have a successful trip to the Lone Star State as a notch in their bright orange belt. And this here SEC opener will answer the big question, is Gus's seat warming up? And the answer is it's getting warm, but not quite too hot. The Generals victor, Auburn. Still to come on this week's college football forecast, there's an iron skillet up for grabs in Fort Worth. And the Georgia Dogs want to give the little leprechaun from South Bend a big ol' L between the hedges. Keep it here. General Gridiron will be right back.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
Howdy, soldiers. This is General Gridiron back with you. Each week, this fabulous football forecast is heard on some of the finest radio stations all over the land of cotton, including WTKE FM 100.3, 93.5 FM, and 97.1 FM, the Ticket Sports Network, on the white sandy beaches of Destin, Fort Walton Beach, Pensacola, and Panama City, Florida. And the Talk of Jackson, WTJS FM 93.1 in Jackson, Tennessee. We appreciate all of our radio affiliates. Now, let's get back into the football fight. UCF at Pittsburgh. Outside of the theme park capital of the world, the rest of college football is ready to demote the Knights back to obscurity. Unfortunately for all y'all, UCF's 2017 and 2018 campaigns have sort of made the nearly 70,000 student university relevant. And then last Saturday, against a Power 5 opponent, and a pretty good one, Josh Heupel's Gladiators cut down the Stanford Redwoods with relative ease. Now the American team strolls into the giant ketchup bottle, hoping to joust another Power 5 team in consecutive weeks. For Pitt's sake, Rock the Panther is having a rough go of it in 2019, and as long as they stay out of Permane Brothers for a pregame meal, them Florida boys ought to do just fine. The Generals victor, UCF. Kentucky at Mississippi State. Oh yeah, the cross-divisional rivals meet again in Stark Vegas. Get your cowbells ready. Well, this game ain't exactly set up for Kirk Herbstreit and Lee Corso to be on set. Tough Week 3 losses to UF and K-State had the cats and dogs both scratching themselves this week. The home team has prevailed each of the last 3 meetings, and in a series that's currently tied at 23 games apiece, a series that commenced during the 1914 season, by the way, this contest will shift the scale to one side, the maroon side. The Generals victor, Mississippi State. Washington at BYU. UW sits at number 22 entering this contest in Desiree. That's a pretty good place to be for a pack of canines that somehow fell at home in Week 2 to the Cal Bears. The Mormons are bubbling under the rankings, but man, are they on a roll. Roaring back to win on Rocky Top, and then an OT sequel and escape against a ranked bunch of Trojans from South LA. The Cougs are getting their sea legs as the calendar's quickly approaching October, and them legs are going to give Harry the Husky one heck of a thumping. The Generals victor in a close one, BYU. SMU at TCU. The Iron Skillet Battle. This 99th Metroplex Melee goes down this year at Hell's Half Acre, where the home team enjoys a 51-40 and 7 ties edge in the series. These two really don't like each other, and that's what helps make this skillet skirmish scintillating. One of the few highlights of the 2018 season for Gary Patterson's Leapers was a 30-point lassoing of the Ponies, which stretched the Christians' win streak to 7 straight. In 2019, the hits will keep on a-coming in Cowtown. The Generals victor, TCU. Notre Dame at Georgia. What a big game it was 2 years back when the Hairy Dogs hunkered down and touched down Jesus' shadow and got the road W. That victory springboarded Kirby and the boys to an SEC championship and as close as you can get to a natty. Now the Catholics come on down to Dixie for a top 10 college game day battle of the Goliaths. Boy, oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Jake Fromm, whom the bell tolls, and that chapel bell will be a-ringing throughout the night when the Warner Robins Wonder sends Notre Dame to confessional. The Generals victor, Georgia. Well, those 10 bold picks are sure to keep you on the edge of the lazy boy all day Saturday. But hang on to your helmet, there's more around the corner. We'll be back in just a moment to wrap up this week's General Gridiron with our rapid fire picks.
I was living in a shelter juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
This is General Gridiron back with you. We've already maneuvered through this weekend's frontline college football showdowns. Now it's time to fix bayonets and storm the field with our rapid-fire football forecast. Colorado cuts down Arizona State. Louisville licks Florida State. Iowa State F4s Louisiana Monroe. Missouri scratches South Carolina. Wake Forest scorches Elon. West Virginia wins at Kansas. Stanford outstudies Oregon. Virginia crowns Old Dominion. Clemson runs over UNC Charlotte. Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket Killers, the Citadel wins the Battle of Charleston versus Charleston Southern. California in a close one at Mississippi. Baylor boils Rice. Washington State keeps UCLA winless. Alabama rolls over I-59 foe Southern Miss. Kennesaw State triple options Missouri State. Central Arkansas hangs 10 at Hawaii. East Carolina takes William & Mary's loot. Georgia State outlasts Texas State. And Louisiana Lafayette filet gumbos Ohio. Well, troops, you can now put your swords back in their scabbards. We're all out of picks on this Week 4 edition of General Gridiron. We'll be back again next week, same General Gridiron time, same General Gridiron station. So don't forget to tune us in on the radio, Facebook, YouTube TV, or download the Y'all Show free on iTunes Podcast. And don't forget to tell your friends all about the show. Simply search for General Gridiron. This is John Rawl, the General of Gridiron Glory, thanking you for letting me be a part of your weekend celebration. General Gridiron is a production of Y'all. For more, log on to y'all.com, the ultimate guide to the South.